Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something truly fascinating. We are looking at the mechanics behind one of the absolute most unprecedented success stories in modern media. We're talking about the wild transformation of a modest crowd-funded passion project into a massive, multi-tiered entertainment empire. Seriously, whether you've binge-watched every single episode or you've just seen the billboards on your commute, the business, creative, and distribution models behind The Chosen are literally rewriting the Hollywood playbook. So let's dive right in and see exactly how they built this thing.
To kick things off, look at this comment from a Reddit user over on the r/FOMOI subreddit. They wrote, "The Jesus cinematic universe is wild." And honestly, that perfectly captures the internet's reaction to the recent announcement from show creator Dallas Jenkins. You see, he just launched 5 and 2 Studios, which signals this massive expansion from a single TV show into what people are now calling the Marvelification of the Bible. But to really understand how we got to a full-blown cinematic universe, we've got to look at the foundation first.
Section 1. From crowdfunded to global phenomena.
Now, to understand why we're doing a deep dive into this today, we first have to wrap our heads around the sheer, staggering scale of this show's reach. Because this is not just some niche project anymore, folks. It is a global heavyweight. Just look at this number, 280 million. That's the estimated number of viewers worldwide who have watched the show. And here's a truly fascinating detail for you. Producers estimate that a full third of those viewers aren't even religious. This show has completely crossed massive demographic boundaries, pulling in audiences that normally wouldn't touch faith-based media with a 10-foot pole. So, how on earth are they reaching so many people?
Well, the secret sauce here is their highly unique distribution model. Through the backing of a nonprofit called the Come and See Foundation, they've launched this massive global translation effort. The series has already been dubbed into nearly 50 languages, and get this, their ultimate goal is to subtitle it in 600 languages. But the real kicker? Despite moving on to major streaming platforms recently, they've maintained a permanent free-to-watch app model. Literally anyone, anywhere in the world can just download the app and watch it for free.
And that brings us to the brilliantly weird paradox of their success. Despite the fact that you can watch this series for absolutely $0 on your phone, The Chosen has grossed over $120 million through theatrical box office releases alone. Fans are literally going out and buying movie tickets for episodes they could easily just stream at home for free, all for that communal big-screen experience. It's this incredibly hybrid model that just totally defies traditional TV logic.
Which brings us to Section 2, modernizing the Messiah.
Because let's be real, you don't get 280 million viewers just by having a clever app. You have to ask yourself, how do you adapt an ancient, sacred text for a modern, binge-watching audience that's used to shows like The Wire or Game of Thrones? Well, the writers decided early on to really flesh out these characters by adding relatable backstories, everyday conflicts, and humor. But modernizing these iconic figures definitely causes some friction. And that brings us to a major controversy from Season 1, Episode 4, which perfectly highlights this creative tension. There's a scene at a wedding where Jesus is playfully teasing his disciple Andrew about his notoriously bad dancing.
So another disciple jokingly asks Jesus to perform a miracle to fix Andrew's terrible dance moves, and Jesus playfully replies, "Some things even I cannot do." Now, a lot of fans thought this was hilarious, but this specific line sparked some serious theological critique. Some viewers argued that this was actually a blasphemous statement because it depicted Jesus explicitly denying his own divine omnipotence. Basically, they felt the show was saying there was an absolute limit to God's power.
But, if we take a step back and deconstruct the joke, the target isn't actually Jesus' power. The target is Andrew's incurably bad dancing. The point of comparison is Jesus' well-known miraculous ability to cure the incurable. The writers are simply using standard television tropes of exaggeration and hyperbole. By using a modern comedic structure, they're just trying to make a first-century religious figure feel approachable and human to a 21st century audience.
All right, let's pivot to Section 3, following the money.
Because, as you can imagine, creating this level of high-quality, modern television at a massive scale is definitely not cheap. Just look at the absolute explosion in their production costs. Back in Season 1, the budget was a relatively modest $10 million, and that was fully crowdfunded. But by Season 4, that budget skyrocketed to $40 million. And the projections for their final season, Season 7, put the budget at a staggering $64 million. As the sets get bigger, the cast grows, and the production value starts rivaling major network dramas, the amount of cash required to keep this engine running is just immense.
But fans on the internet have been doing the math. Looking at SEC filings and transparency reports, the revenue streams are equally staggering. Angel Studios, which was their former partner, reported generating almost $282 million in revenue just from the Chosen brand.
Then you have the Come and See Foundation reporting over $100 million raised in donations. And as we mentioned earlier, the theatrical releases pulled in over $120 million. We are looking at hundreds of millions of dollars flowing through this ecosystem, and that has set up a massive debate among the fanbase.
Adding some serious fuel to this financial discussion is a specific detail found in those corporate filings. It turns out a $150 million loan was given from the tax-exempt Come and See Foundation to 5 and 2 Studios. And later, as part of some corporate restructuring, that massive $150 million debt was just completely forgiven.
And this brings us right to the heart of the huge financial debate happening on Reddit. We're seeing two very distinct perspectives from fans right now. On one side, you have people asking, look, with hundreds of millions in generated revenue, massive box office returns, and fully forgiven 9-figure loans, why is the show still heavily soliciting grassroots pay-it-forward donations to fund Season 6? But on the other side, defenders are arguing that maintaining a permanent free app, paying for Hollywood-level crew and union costs, and undertaking a massive effort to translate the show into 600 languages, well, that requires an absolutely relentless, massive stream of capital. It's a really fascinating look at the growing pains of a crowd-funded passion project turning into a corporate powerhouse.
Which transitions us to Section 4, Expanding the Universe. Because to achieve their future roadmap, they are officially trading some of their direct-to-consumer independence for massive reach. They're partnering with Amazon MGM Studios for exclusivity windows. So, starting with Season 5, episodes will actually have a 90-day window on Prime Video before they are ever released for free on the app. And with that big tech leverage behind them, they are building out an entirely new slate of content. 5 and 2 Studios is officially bringing us a live-action series for Moses, as well as a dedicated series for Joseph. Plus, there's an animated kids series in the works called The Chosen Adventures. Oh, and they are even stepping into reality TV with an unscripted wilderness show featuring Bear Grylls taking the cast out into the wild. They are effectively blanketing every single demographic with content. So, what does this all mean for the future? Well, it leaves us with one final, pivotal question to consider. Can a crowd-funded passion project actually sustain a Hollywood-scale empire without losing its grassroots soul? I mean, they've defied literally every rule in the entertainment industry so far, by blending viewer donations, free apps, theatrical releases, and now Amazon streaming deals. Whether this new cinematic universe thrives or collapses under its own massive weight is something the entire industry is going to be watching very, very closely. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.